In this video I'm going to show how to download and install the IMI Organizer Map Edition or the Pro Edition. If you want to do any upgrading either from the folders edition to the Map or the Pro Edition, or from the Map Edition to the Pro Edition, or you want to do a version upgrade, then look at the separate video that talks about upgrading. So this video is about new installations only. So I'm going to start off in the members area for the IMI Organizer Map Edition. Now this is the members area for the edition with personal use and master resale rights. I'll show you what the difference is between those two on the download page, but this applies to either to both editions of to both versions of the Map Edition, both the version for personal use only and the version for with master resale rights. So from the download from the members area, the homepage of the members area, you can go to the download page, go to the training area, how to make an income, the forum support, and go back to the sales page if you want. But scrolling down, if you've not signed up to my newsletter, I would recommend doing that. You find that very beneficial, I believe. And then really just go to the download page. You can also learn about registering as an affiliate on here. But let's go straight to the downloads page. And this is the download page again for the Map Edition with master resale rights. Let me quickly show you the only difference. If you've got the version with for a personal use only, then you won't have this box. This is where you download the package if you've got master resale rights to the product. If you've got personal use only, you won't see this. Otherwise, this download page is the same. So for a new installation, click this link. If you're doing upgrades, go to here, but we'll cover that in a separate video. So you might see a different version number here. This is version 3.2.1. When you go there, you might see a later version. But it's basically this first link for new installations. Left click on there. So before I do that, let me go to the Pro Edition download page. This is in the members area for the Pro Edition on the downloads page. Again, it's the first link for new installations. You would click on that link or left click on that link and do the download. So, but I'll download the Map Edition. So I left click and this pop-up comes up and I click on Save File. It does the download, and then what I would do is right click. I use Firefox, so I get this pop-up when I do a download. So I right click and say Open Containing Folder, and it opens the folder containing the file that I've just downloaded. And I'm just going to double click on there and do the installation. So I'm going to go ahead and double click on this file. There's a pop-up back from the user account control, which you can't see because it doesn't get displayed when recording videos. I just click yes to that, and there's the window for the setup wizard. Welcome to the IMI Organizer Map Setup Wizard. It's going to guide me through the installation of the IMI Organizer Map version 3.2.1, and it's for new installations only, etc. So I'll click on Next, and it's then saying where do I want to install the system, the IMI folders. My recommendation is to put things at the highest level. So by default it says C, so there's no reason not to do there, unless you want to put it on some other drive, maybe an external drive. That's fine as well. You can also move the whole installation once you've installed it, so you can put it onto the default and move it later on. So I'm just going to leave it at the default and click Install. Just wait a few seconds for it to do that, and then we get some options. So it's finished that stage. I click Next. Now it's saying, do you need to install Mind Manager Viewer? In most cases, leave that at yes. If you happen to have the viewer already installed, then you can say no. but by default obviously say yes, otherwise you won't be able to view the mind map. So definitely leave that on yes unless you're absolutely sure you already have it installed. If you have it installed already and you reinstall it, it's not going to do any damage. So it's going to go through the installation process. I'm going to pause the video while it does all that and come back when it's completed. Well, it hasn't completed yet, but it's in the process of, it's now just come up with the installation process for the Mind Manager Viewer, Mind Manager Viewer 6. So this is the installation process. Because I've got mine already installed, it's noticed that and saying modify, but generally just take the defaults and keep clicking next, and it should work for you. So again, it's in. Oh, it's done it. That's fine. It didn't take long, possibly because I've already got mine installed. And it's going to come back now to the installation process for the IMI Organizer. There it is. And now I've got two options. I can open the mind map on completion. Why not do that? And it's saying, do I want to add a shortcut to the desktop? That's also a very good idea to do that. Then I click next, and it's then saying, do I want to go to the getting started page on the end? That I will leave that ticked so that I can get my guidance. So it's opening the mind map. There it is. Make it smaller so you can see it. That's the mind map, and it's also taking me to the showing me that I can get to the getting started page from within the map itself. And go back to the website. So that's the training area. So it's taken you to the training page, and you can choose whichever training page you want. Probably the Map and Pro edition would be the relevant one right now. Going back to the mind map, I'm not going to go through the mind map because that's covered in other videos, but it opens it up for you right away. Going to my desktop, you can see it's put a link to the mind map on my desktop, so I can just double click that and it will open the map again. And the last thing just to show is that if I want to, I can navigate via my folders. So I installed it on drive C. There's the folder structure IM index. I double click on there. That's the folder structure. It's going to be very similar, in fact identical folder structure to if you had the IMI folders, if you get the free edition. But what you get extra is this mind map, and I can again open the mind map by double clicking on that. That's the other way. So you can either go from the desktop shortcut, or you can go via the folder structures. Okay, so that's the end of the video showing how to download and install IMI Organizer. Exactly the same process if you were to use the Pro edition. In fact, there is one last thing that I probably should point out. If you already own MindJet's Mind Manager system, the full Mind Manager software, then you should still install the viewer, because it is much more convenient to view the mind map through a viewer than through the full Mind Manager software. I obviously have the full Mind Manager software, that's how I developed the mind map, but I always view my IM Index mind maps through the viewer. You don't want to inadvertently be changing the topics and the folders. In fact, there's a section in the training area about what you can and can't, or should and shouldn't do in terms of changing the map. Basically, the recommendation is don't change the map, even if you've got the ability to, because you've got the full software. So even if you own the full Mind Manager software, still make sure you have a viewer there and use the viewer to view the mind maps.